Very, very nice game. Good tactics. Obviously, Levy needs to do more puzzle rush, and not just focus solely on opening preparation, because clearly it was lacking in this game, as we see. Just not really there in terms of puzzles. All right. What were you guys saying? You're saying something. Let me see if I can pull this up. Okay, you guys, so let's take a short break and let's take a look. Let's take a look at this game. So apparently there was this game that was played. Let's take a look. What is this game? There's this game that was played between none other than VRML20, who is my brother, and GothamChess, who is Levy Rosman. So let's take a look at this game. Let's see what happened in it. Let me adjust the board just a little bit so you guys can actually see it. Okay. Let's just take a look at this. Let's move this over here. All right, so apparently there was this game that was played between my brother and Levy Rosman, 3-0 blitz online. Let's see how this game goes. So d4 is played, knight f6, bishop g5, d5. All right, e3, pretty standard, e6, knight d2, bishop to e7. Levy plays bishop to d3 here. b6 is played, c3, bishop b7, all pretty normal. Bishop takes f6. Now, what a move by Levy. I have to say, this shows absolutely no understanding whatsoever. Of course, you do not play like this. Quite simply, if you want to actually do a line like this, you should play f4 first, or you should just play knight f3, play queen e2 and e4. And white's actually just a little bit better here. Now, computer also gives another line with bishop takes e4, which is also very logical. And again, I think white is very slightly better here because white's getting a big center. But playing takes in f4 is just memeing, and again, this is the thing, like, this is just not very realistic to play like this. So f4 is played, h6. Bad move, by the way. I don't like h6 at all here. I think you should play like c5 and just knight c6 develop immediately. h6 is a little bit dubious. c5 castles, knight to c6 is played here. Okay, knight to e5 played by Levy, queen d6, all pretty normal. a3, okay, rook f8. So again, kind of a strange move at the same time. After, I guess the problem for black here is you don't really want to castle because you're worried about like a big attack on the king side, like queen h5 or rook f3 and so forth. So the idea behind rook f8 is that you guard the pawn at f7 and now you can castle the king to the queen side. So b4 is played by Levy. c4, bishop c2, castles. Of course, black wants to close down the queen side, so it makes perfect sense to play c4. e4 is played, g6. Okay, so Levy actually is doing pretty well here. Queen e2, king b8, a4, okay, queen c7, a5, looking very good for Levy. b5, a6. Okay, now a6, I'm not sure about a6 because the problem with a6 is that long term you're not really creating, there's no pressure here on the queen side, and this pawn at a6 is always going to be a big weakness here. So I don't know about a6 because in any of these long-term endgames you're going to get into trouble. So queen e3 is played by Levy. Bishop e7, knight f3. Okay, very logical, just developing, improving the position. But as you're starting to see already, it's kind of hard. Like, white's got the maximum build up here, but again, you can't really break through on the king side. There's no f5 push because black is covering it. You don't really want to trade and lock up the center like this in e5. You don't really want to play like that. So it's already kind of not that big of an advantage for white. So takes, knight e5 played by Levy. Of course not e5. Queen b6, rook a5. Bishop takes a6, rook a1, bishop to b7. Very good move. And just like that, while white is still a little bit better here, white's down a pawn. If black gets a6, black is going to be much better here. So Levy decides to take on a7 and give up the two rooks for the queen. So black has 2 rooks for a queen. My instinct is that white is probably still a little bit better because the rooks don't have open files. So if you could get a rook to a8 and a1, then maybe black gets counterplay. But at the moment, with a great knight on e5, the rooks are a little bit passive, no open files. The bishop on b7 is kind of passive, and the bishop on d6 isn't really doing a whole lot. I think that white should still be a little bit better. So pawn takes d5, pawn takes f5. Actually, see, again, now here's Levy with a very bad move. Pawn takes pawn, it just shows zero understanding here. And the reason that pawn takes pawn is a bad move is because even though the bishop is closed here, now black gets to open e-file. Black's going to be able to pry it open with f6 at some point and open up the e-file. So in this position, you can't release here. You can't release or relieve the tension. You have to let the tension keep building here and play something like, I would say h4 personally, or maybe h3, one of these two moves to try and take some more space on the king side, and then wait for black to release. But white should not be releasing the tension in the center of the position here. So pawn takes pawn is played. pawn takes, f5 played by Levy, g5. Levy has to go f6 because if black gets f6, then black will definitely take the open e file. So f6 is played here. Rook e8, very good move. Bishop to f5, king b8, h4. Okay, king c7, trade, and now bishop g4 again. I feel like something went wrong though here because I thought black should be better. Yeah, actually, you know what the move is? The move is f6 here. The move is f6 here. f6 is very logical because after knight g6, now you take the open line, and white has to go like queen f2, and now I think you can probably go here, and now your rooks are getting all the open files here. Your rooks are awesome here. Your rook on e8 and your rook on a8 are just coming right into the game, and black is much better here. Not even close. Black's just much better because the rooks are going to get active, whereas in the other one, the rooks don't really get active. So yeah, so g5 allows f6, so let's keep going. We're right here, bishop g4, rook a8 is played, queen takes g5 played by Levy, rook g8, queen to e3, and now rook takes g4. And just like that, as we say, that's why you have to study your tactics, because after rook takes g4, it's game over. Already here, I guess you can play queen f4 and white's still in the game, but after queen e3, rook takes g4. When you play knight takes rook, there's rook a1 check. King can't come up because the bishop covers the square, and you have to block with the queen. And after rook takes, king takes bishop f4. Bishop's getting behind. Black bishop is going to gobble up all these pawns on b4, c3, d4, and it's completely winning. So Levy actually takes Levy took on g4. Wow, that's kind of odd. That gives away any hope of a swindle for sure. So here, bishop c8, knight e3, bishop to e6, king f2, bishop f4. Precise move, knight f1, king d6, king f3, bishop c1, g4, bishop b2, and just like that, my brother wins this game against Levy. Very nice game, good tactics. Obviously Levy needs to do more puzzle rush, and not just focus solely on opening preparation, because clearly it was lacking in this game, as we see. Just not really there in terms of puzzles. So very good game, I would say. At the end, spotting some tactics. Very typical blitz game though. I mean, kind of up and down, back and forth, and then I don't know if the players were low on time or what was going on, but it kind of came down to a sharp tactic. So yeah, that's yeah, very impressive win by my brother. I approve. Well done. Very good game. So yeah, what can we say? That's how it goes.